then we will discuss how much we all love Orrorsh because of... I know, Maddie, you love trains and horror, and that is why you are here. Lily being second to that. Welcome, everyone, to Torg Tuesdays. I am JM, your GM. These are the Horsemen, and we are back. We are back not just tonight, but we are back to our normal schedule of playing Torg every week, Fading Suns every week here on the Ulysses International channel. Glad to be back. Thanks to everyone who has been with us this first quarter, following the adventures of the Horsemen as well as the B team when they come up. Before we get into this, I just want to give a bit of an update on the Aventuria Kickstarter, which ended earlier today. And if you backed that, let me pull it up right here. If you backed that, it brought the project to life. It met its goal. It got almost to 70,000 euros, so it unlocked a ton of stuff. And typically, there's a chance for people to get on late. If that happens, we'll let you know. But congratulations to Ulysses on a great Kickstarter. Again, I've played through a lot of the content, and it's really cool. It has a lot of new options, so if you enjoy kind of adventure card games, you should go check it out. But we're going to get started into our adventure for tonight. So, when we last left off, the group discovered that they were on a time loop, a train of horrors that chewed them up and spit them out at least one time. And as they made their way through, they discovered the strange man Wilhelm, who has been on this train for quite a while, was trying to answer some of the questions, but definitely had a problem with linear time and coherency. The group made their way, managed to save Peaches this time, which puts them ahead of at least the one time they remember. Peaches, Tyrannic, Genevieve, Lady Salvo, Anton, and Edith, along with Wilhelm, decoupled part of the train, which turned out to be a lot more visceral action than they had initially anticipated. They made their way to the dining carts, and they were able to dispatch not only the skinwalkers, but they got into a tussle with a vampire. A vampire who, drawing up behind Anton, was about to rip out... Thanks, Lily. You can have a possibility. Now, granted, it's an Orroshian possibility, so keep an eye on that. Keep that one separate. The time seemed to freeze about halfway through the second blow of the train whistle that would signal they were entering the tunnel, which at least to them indicated they would be going back on a restarting this loop for a third time. And emerging from the far side of the dining car was a man in a well-tailored suit, a conductor cap, and a pocket watch, who said that it was about time that they had a discussion, because you guys have been quite the thorn that we picked up. So if you would please have a seat, we can discuss this like refined people.
And who are you?
Closes it shut. Now, Genevieve, from the last time, you had that really high perception roll. You can see the vampire's fangs are still microscopically moving closer and closer, as if he's still anticipating to bite into Anton's neck. It's not a total stop, but it is moving slower. Turning to Lady Salvo, he says, I, snapping the watch closed, am the conductor of this train. It has come to my attention that you wish to disembark before we reach the station. Is that an accurate assessment?
If we do, will we be allowed to leave?
Normally, no. But I will say, I have yet to encounter a group so tenaciously annoying as the 6 of you.
We are very good at that.
So, if you wish off, I will give you that opportunity. The train is mostly slowed down, a successful tuck and roll, and you should be able to leave at your leisure.
We're taking
And what of the
Wilhelm
others?
with us.
All right, so I got Wilhelm, and what was your thing, Edith?
What of the other passengers?
The other passengers. Well, there are those who are the servants of the train, who have already been consumed. There are perhaps a dozen more, none for you to worry about. I assume you mean the living passengers on the train.
I mean all the passengers.
Well, he reaches out and pulls a handkerchief out of his breast pocket and cleans a bit of the brass on one of the lamps. And Edith, you are pretty sure you see a couple of faces kind of retreat around. That is not on the negotiating table, as I'm sure you discovered when you decoupled those cars. Many of our passengers, well, you know how they say these things. Supply and demand. The more people who ride the train, the more space we have to take on new passengers. I'm giving you a chance. You are only about an evening's walk from Chennai from here. You should be able to make it there on foot. I will go on my lovely way, and you will find this horrible nightmare to be over. As for Wilhelm, I'm not even sure the man has enough of himself left to exist outside the train, but if you wish to take that risk, it's only a few more loops before we get the last little bit of marrow from his bones and find new things to repurpose him for.
And when does the train reach its destination?
That is a very difficult question to answer. When does any life reach its destination? Isn't it more about the journey?
What about these individuals here? They've yet to be turned into train. Are they free to leave?
Oh yes, those two behind the bar, and he starts going like this. I'm sure they're in complete control of themselves and still retain enough of their personalities and willpower to do. Oh, I'm sorry, and you can see they have stood up behind the bar and are sort of dancing to the movements of the conductor. No, those souls, you really shouldn't try and save everyone. If you do that, well, eventually you'll go mad.
You may think that you're in charge here, conductor, but there's two things you don't know. My name is Lady Salvo, and I smash villains. And that is my friend Edith, and she kills monsters. And you are both.
That is true. However, do you really want to relive? And he sort of wipes his hand over the glossy surface of the table, and you all see Lady Salvo being eaten alive from the last through. You're not the only ones who learn each time around. And he kind of wipes his hand away and the image fades. This is... How do I put this? This is Orrorsh. This is not your land. Everything here, even you Storm Knights, you all belong to the Gaunt Man while you're within these borders. Now, I don't know what you intend to do in Orrorsh, and frankly, I don't care. But there is one thing that I must insist on, and that the train runs on time, and I can't have sacks of possibility wandering up and down my cars, causing irrevocable damage. Now, when I can restart the loop, you'll have less time. To answer the young monster hunter's question, the journey ends when you pass through the tunnel for the last time. It gets shorter and shorter each time. I'm sure you don't even remember your first 3 dozen trips. What? 2? Maybe 3? So, that's sort of the question then. Do you take my advantage of my extreme generosity at this moment, or do we start this all over again and see if the young woman from the Nile Empire, coupled with the young woman from Orrorsh, can slay a monstrous villain? Many have tried. I still keep the train running.
I'm going to pat a little Edith on the shoulder and say, this is your area of expertise more than mine. I'll follow your lead.
Jam, question. With my cyber deck, would I remember all of the reboots, or would I only remember 2? Because we're in Orrorsh.
Give me a computer roll.
$13.
So here's the thing. With a 13, you don't see anything strange. Like, there's no, like, repeat memories or repeated recording information. But there are 288 hours worth of blank storage space on your deck. You don't know where that came from. Special guest star by Buddy. We got to get you in on a Fading Suns game, Ross, so that you can play. Buddy can play Frank the killer octopuppy. So, listen, I will be honest. Keeping this time frozen is taxing. And my friend over there looks rather hungry, and he points back at the vampire, who is really kind of looking silly at this point, because he's just kind of standing in the air where he was holding Anton, kind of pantomiming, biting someone in the neck. I guess
This
It's up to you guys. You know where I stand.
So,
It's up to you guys.
the question is
it's up to you,
discretion
Peter.
or valor. In case you haven't learned this lesson, I'm sure Edith can speak to it. Valor is the #1 cause of death in Orrorsh. Well, right
Thought it was
behind Monster
dysentery.
Claws.
What say you, Edith?
I really wish Jam had not given me that great opening. But I think he did it on purpose. I've been fiddling with the crossbow and reloading.
He's got his pocket watch open.
Lady Salva, what do you think you can shoot that watch out of his hand?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, can we shoot the watch?
Well, I was just wondering if firepower and holy water and bullets would have any effect.
Only time will tell.
I would silver bolt the vampire or sunbolt
You think
the
that's
vampire.
Oh.
And maybe
Well, I
Lady
was
Salvo
thinking-
shoots the watch out of his hand so he can't start time again.
Well,
It's your
yeah,
shot.
we
I don't know
obviously-
what penalties for those kind of things.
Probably -4, -6.
Yeah.
So that gives you what, 25 to hit?
Hey, listen, if we can tease Anton about always licking things.
That's right.
What happens if you lick a vampire?
It can't be worse than attempting to bite a husk.
Very true.
All right, so
Who would bite a husk? I stand
No, I
prepared
think-
for support.
Yeah, I think if possible, simultaneous attacks on the watch hand.
okay. Go ahead and give me your rolls. It will be a -6 to the shot because of the size of the pocket watch.
Well,
How about just his
Okay.
arm? Just to shoot his arm and sever it.
Can't sever it with pistol shots and
Au
a
contraire.
crossbow.
holy water?
You're trying to stop the hands of time.
That's right. Certified Torganic gave a solid pun that you guys are trying to kill time.
It is taxing for him to freeze everything, so the longer we can engage him in conversation, go for it, V.
You want me to just talk this dude up? Is that what's going on?
Bamboozle him with technology. Well,
Yeah,
ladies,
ask him
Salvo
Tyrannic
him-
could try to
well-
seduce
calculates the
him.
angle.
Great.
We
Okay.
could have Tyrannic try to seduce him.
I will attempt to chat up the conductor. Um,
Listen. it is
I
not
see
that
you're
do
running a gold pocket watch. Have you considered upgrading to platinum? I hear the gears don't wear.
You're trying to
the
get him
wine's
to
a
upgrade
little
his firmware,
yeah.
so to speak.
The gears run a little smoother. There's less resistance when winding. You know, the springs are less difficult to replace. Is it something you have to replace often, or is this something is it like a family heirloom?
I find the bones of the damned and their souls
So the watch is
lubricated
a
quite well.
person.
The watch is several people. This is not the first time I've dealt with Storm Knights. My guess is these two are planning to shoot me. You're trying to distract me. He is playing with his headdress for some reason I can't understand. And the one... And yeah, I could just see Tyrannic kind of fluffing up all the feathers, getting ready for his big move.
I put on my sexiest feathers, by the way. I pulled it out, and so I'm pretty good.
How dare you, sir? That is Grigori's feather. Somewhere in
times.
Tharcold.
Jam. I have a question. So, this could be stupid, but we're gonna try it. As I'm asking him questions, because it freaks me out that people are now the machines versus the machines becoming the people.
Okay.
Um,
Like where this is going.
Can I play connection? Is there someone here who's spent more time on the train, knows how this process works, who could help me to understand how this process works to try and
Well,
subvert the system.
Yeah, Wilhelm is definitely your best bet for that. By playing the connection card, I will allow Wilhelm to have be a lot more coherent when you ask him questions.
Okay, great.
Final answer, Storm Knights. On or off?
I can't leave the train.
When he talks like that, it must perk up V's ears because that's straight binary.
That's right. It's all ones and zeros, V.
I'm gonna turn to Wilhelm and ask Wilhelm what he thinks because he's the one with the shortest switch.
I'm sorry, the chat has decided that Tyrannic is not a one villain kind of lizard, and
See, what the conductor failed to realize is that Edith and Lady Salvo have one-track minds.
oh, boo! All right, are you guys gonna take your shot? All right, give me the rolls.
Woo!
Well played, producer. Well played. All right, what'd you get, Lady Salvo?
We're not in combat, so can I play stuff that's in my...
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to play a drama card to add to my roll. So 15.
Okay. And Lady Salvo, what'd you get? Mark called it. Oh, you guys are delightful. All right.
And to think, I have no points in precog.
Anton doesn't have any points in precog. How many has Mark spent? All right. So, does anyone have anything they would like to play to help Edith? Because Lady Salvo with a 25 got a good success.
I have a action that gives you +3.
+3 would get her to a basic success, a standard success.
Lily, I have a hero, so you can add another possibility.
I mean, I also have a hero. And I will play it.
If I can give her a card to play, or if I can play a card for her, I'd play Adrenaline.
All right, so Adrenaline gets her to 18, and then are you going to play a hero?
Yeah, I'll play hero or action. That's +3.
All right, we got you to 21. You want to spend the...
Spend a hero card?
Well, we'll stick at 21.
All right, so 21 is a standard success. 25 is a good success. Go ahead and give me the damage rolls.
$15.
Okay.
$17 AP2. But
right.
I'm shooting the watch. I'm shooting the watch. So.
The watch just 2 bullets and a crossbow bolt hit the watch at the same time, and it shatters. Everything goes gray except for Genevieve, and you kind of feel this discorporation as your spirit is loose, and everything as you watch, you can see the watch shattered and then slowly reassembled, and the bolts and the bullets retreat back into the crossbow and the 45s, and the people do the weird dance sort of in reverse, and Anton kind of walks back into the arms of the vampire, and as you watch everything start to slowly rewind, you hear, "Are you here too?" Wilhelm is behind you. Also sort of, you can watch, it's weird, you're watching yourself and Wilhelm kind of slowly rewind as the two of you sort of exist outside of this moment. Who are you? What do you want?
I'm V. I'm one of the horsemen. We are actually trying to get to the coast, but we got ourselves stuck here. And as you'll notice, my fellow Storm Knights don't take kindly to villains or being taunted. So we are trying to find a solution to get out of here that doesn't involve caving to a dictator's demands, because they really don't seem to really like that. And get as many of you out of here as possible, because we also take issue with the train men out of people. What can you tell us? How can you help us?
I have been here far longer than I can remember. I've been journeying from Pakistan. Weeks seems like years. I don't suppose you know my friends. I was supposed to meet up with them. Malachi, Alistar, no? What can I tell you? We don't have much time, and you both are being dragged back, and at this point you can watch as they are... The back part of the train is moving closer, and that bone spike kind of flies back into a hand, and it looks like they're going to reattach it. If you've met the conductor, it means that... Well, it means that he's more aware of you. You've gone from being fleas on the back of a dog to a group of small rats that he plans to break the necks of. The key is, don't do what he expects. Everything here runs us down. Every time the cycle restarts, a little bit more of our souls bonds with the train. I don't even know how coherent I will be on this next time around. But you need to find a way to get to the engine.
To the engine?
To the engine. It's not just... The conductor isn't that form. The skinwalkers, the vampire, the lights, the train, it's all him. You have to stop the engine before it reaches the tunnel.
Have you ever gone out and over before?
Once. It's very dangerous. But it's the closest that I've ever gotten. I got to the door of the engine room. I saw what was inside.
What was inside?
One person shoveling all of us, all of the little pieces, the little memories, the little thoughts that the train had absorbed, shoveling it into a furnace of the damned. I don't even know if there's enough of us left to survive, but I know I'd rather die than be part of this train forever.
Okay.
You have two more questions, Maddie, and then the cycle restarts. At this point, people, you see a horrified look on Tyrannic's face as they're like, that's the box that we found Peaches in. But in reverse, like someone's playing a Beatles record backwards.
Do you know of any equipment we can use that isn't a person?
Whatever you have on you, if it hasn't been converted yet. Be careful. Be strong. Hold on however you can to who you are. I feel like we've had this conversation before. I know we've had this conversation before. I don't know that I have another loop in me. was so good to have one last conversation as Wilhelm.
You will not be forgotten. And then I guess my last question will be, what am I missing?
What do you mean by what am I missing?
Or maybe I guess the question is, what haven't I seen? So like, what detail am I missing? What haven't I picked up on?
Interesting. Those of us in the dining car, those two, they were almost skinwalkers. He says that there's maybe 10 of us left. I haven't gone to the back of the train, but I know that jumping off just gives you the illusion of freedom. When the cycle starts over again, it doesn't matter how far you are away, you go back to where you were. The solution isn't escape. The solution is ending the train. And you kind of snap back into your body as you're about, like everyone is standing. You guys all, the cycle has reset. You guys are all standing in front of the door with the two young Victorian women who were in the middle of giggling at Anton, and their faces go slack. And they just tear the skin off their face as they lunge at you. So we're going to jump right into a quick combat. Maddie, why don't you give me tell me when to stop this.
Stop.
Do you want me to cut?
Yes. The last thing, as it's like panning back, can I try and punch into my cyber deck just the name Wilhelm so that I will not actually forget?
Yeah,
Wilhelm.
Of course.
Okay. I just want to hold on to that promise. Like I told him he wouldn't be forgotten. I'm not going to forget him.
All right, villains go first, heroes get a surge, but before we start, I need everyone to give me a reality roll. DC 4 or DN. I know what game we're playing. DN 14. You have your cards back, you have your possibilities back. Good luck, Horseman.
Ooh.
Looks like Tyrannic and Lady Salvo made it. All right. None of you start this iteration with stun, wounds, or having to make a corruption test. So well done. The two skinwalkers both leap on Genevieve. Alright, Genevieve, one of them misses you completely. The other one, however, rolled a 48. 13 up from...
I totally
That's a miss. Don't worry, that's a miss.
Yeah, it's fine.
V and 30, so up 20, so that's bonus. 13. V's toughness is 11, so we're up 2. 10. V, that is as they it leaps at you. The first one, her dress kind of gets caught on the table. She comes up short. The other one leaps at you, and as she claws, you guys all see that the tips of her fingers kind of bend back, and the bones just drive deep into V's shoulder for 2 wounds and 4 shock. Do you want to spend a possibility to soak?
Yeah.
All right. That's all I had here. Heroes, when you go, you will make a surge check. Everyone on this side tests for contradiction, so I'm going to need that test, and we will go to the hero side. Who's going first?
Rolled an 18 for my surge.
Nice.
Jam, I rolled a 12. I don't know what that does.
So you still take the 2 wounds in Orrorsh, but you don't take the shock.
Okay.
So, blood down the side of her her jacket. By the way, I'm just gonna take an aside here real quick. your guys' character art looks great. Like Simi did such a great job. I just thought I would toss that out there because I was looking at V's art, trying to figure out where they hit her, and it's like, man, that's awesome. All right, so you take the 2 wounds. Who would like to go first? Lady Salvo, you did not fail your surge. Did anybody get a 1 on their surge check? Okay, go for it.
I will. I'll try something fancy. I'm gonna turn on my music.
Okay.
And shoot both of them. So
Nice.
it's a multi-action with a -4, I believe.
Yep.
Okay. Fortunately, I'm favored on my fire combat rolls. But the second roll was not great, so there's that. It's that is going to give me a 10. I will spend a possibility on that.
Okay.
That gives me an 18.
That is a good success against both of them.
Great.
And what's the base damage on your guns?
14 AP 2.
I do not like that. Okay.
So here we go. 16 on the first and 17 on the second.
All right. What's it look like?
Yeah, it's just kind of a flurry of motion as I cry out V's name and draw my weapons and leap to the side and blaze away. It's pretty hectic even for Lady Salvo.
All right. The both of the skinwalkers hit the ground, and you can see the one that kind of connected with V, like the side of her face is showing that little bit of cybernetic gleam as it was trying to become her as soon as it clawed at her. V, you are privy to information. So what would you like to let everyone know?
Oh, I was like, I get more information? I am going to very quickly say, because both the skinwalkers dead?
Yes, both of the skinwalkers are dead.
Okay, great.
Woo, reloading.
Okay, here's the deal. By weird means, I was able to talk to a coherent Wilhelm. We need to get to the engine room. We have to end the train. Getting
I'm
off
sorry.
is an option.
You talked to
he said-
who?
Wilhelm.
Who?
That's nobody remembers the loop.
Okay. I talked to. Okay, this
Well,
is
I
gonna
mean, they
sound
remember
crazy.
a little bit of the loop once they start.
Bear with me. This is gonna sound crazy. We need to get on top of the train and get to the engine room and stop the train. Going
That
through
sounds-
is not an option. We need to go over, and we need to
That
go
sounds-
quickly because we have a limited amount of time.
That sounds very dramatic. I love it.
I feel like you were like, Lady Salvo's like, yes. I've
Okay.
been waiting for a train.
I say we
crawl.
go.
Yeah.
Before we start crawling up there, I will concentrate and cast awareness to give everyone a bonus on their defense to get go. So when we get ambushed by creepy crawlies, Lady Salvo will survive to avenge us. Because the rest of our dodges won't really matter, but his will jump exponentially.
Is V going to tell us that the train is made of humans? Or
At this point, I'm just
And
getting
she-
us to go, and as we go, I will share more information. But I'm like, we gotta go. We gotta get on top of the train. We gotta go. So, heading towards the dining car. But when we get to that junction jam, I'm imagining like an old school train where on the sides of the platform between there's ladders to get on top.
Yeah, I'm totally down with that.
Cool. So, who wants to go first? I don't know that I should be. Okay, great. Salvo wants to go
Oh.
first, or Anton, either one.
I got an outstanding success. So the range is greater, but it still only maxes at +2 for your all defenses are +2.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
And I will concentrate that as we continue to move. No.
And then, Jam, at what point does Wilhelm show up? I don't remember.
As you open the door, there is
Right about-
a very frightened and disheveled person. You!
You, come with us! And I'll grab him by his wrist and start dragging him up the ladder on top of the train with me.
Okay.
You know, if only we had someone with us who knew this train better than us.
Wilhelm, this is the group. Group, this is Wilhelm. Wilhelm, can you direct us to the engine room?
He kind of just points.
I grab his jacket. If you want to live, come with us.
Are you saying that he should come with you if he wants to live?
I mean, sure, yeah.
Duh.
V's gonna get one person out of this train. Cyber Fantasy help her.
All right, so here's how this will work. Who has the fastest speed among you? We will run this as a chase scene along the top of the train.
Probably Lady South.
When you say speed, what do you mean exactly?
Like, what am I?
A run?
Your run. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you.
I have a 45 when I'm powered up.
Yeah, I'm at 24.
Yeah, me too.
27.
Ooh,
So
okay.
that's the difficulty. And Lady Salva will get the +4 to her bonuses because, good lord. You remember when it was just, we were in Core Earth and it was just motorcycle chases down down the streets of New York? Good times.
Dinosaurs in parking garage?
I remember the dinosaurs in the parking garage. Yeah,
There were, and the dinosaurs in the parking garage.
And we thought that was bad.
All right. So here's how this is going to work. To get to the engine, this will be like a dramatic scene. To get to the engine, you will have to get to step D. When you make rolls, you will be testing maneuver. And Lady Salvo will get a +4 to the roll. The DN for most of these tests will be 15. But as you get atop, the wind is rushing past. You can see fog on the moors. You can see the moon still kind of up in the air with this reddish tint as things kind of whip past you. And behind you, you hear the sound of wood splintering. And as you look, you can see forms kind of rising up out of the wood, pushing their hands down and jerkily tearing themselves free. The souls of those who have died on the train. Edith, you have
I thought it
profession
was just big
monster
termites.
hunter, don't you?
I'm sorry?
You have profession monster hunter, don't you?
That's correct.
Would you like to give me a profession monster hunter roll?
I would love to.
Oh, P.S. everybody, the train is actually made up of people, so we really need to make this work or we will become the train. Not a good option. Just
Great.
throwing that out there.
An 18.
You can see, you know what these are. Boots are ghosts in Orrorsh. You could tell what they are because you can see their feet are pointed backwards as they start moving towards you. Within 18, you do know that they have an allergy to water, but that the light out here, the dim cloak of darkness, will give them a bone. Like they're tougher in the dark, much like werewolves, that sort of thing. So, in addition to getting to the engine, you have to deal with 6. Oh, nope, sorry, there are 5 of you. 7 of these creatures.
So, quick question.
Answer.
Is that your final answer?
Since darkness works in Orrorsh oh so well, why would you give me a Cosm card that says lights out? That's just mean. That's just mean.
Don't look at me.
Ross, your fault.
I don't know that Ross designed this one. I'm sure there's someone to blame. And if I were to scroll to the
I
top
always
of the
look-
PDF that I'm referencing, I could probably even give you names. But instead, I'm going to draw this card. Oh, come on. Closer to victory, the heroes go first, and the approved action for the card is maneuver.
Woo!
And A and B are A, B, and D. So A and B are options. So if you would like to try to get 2 cars closer, be able to do so. So, who would like to go? I mean, all of you guys get to go first. So,
Another question. So we're not in combat, so we don't have to have a card in play to use it, correct?
correct. This is a dramatic scene,
Oh.
not a combat scene.
Yes. Just to make sure I had it right. Second thing, how would flurry work since that gives you another action?
I'd allow you.
There's
I would
normally-
allow it to give you another maneuver action to try and get further steps.
Get to
ahead.
that B?
Mhm.
Try to get to B type thing? Okay. Good. Thank you.
All right, who's going first? You guys make it to the top of the back car. You've got the baggage car in front of you. You can just see the dining car as everything kind of cants to the side as you come around a curve.
So each
Am I
letter
an
of the car.
obsessive compulsive DM that would actually draw out the map so I know where the turns are and reference them the last 2 weeks? Yes, I am.
So A and B would get us to the dining
It
car.
would get you to the dining car, yes.
Okay. Who's got the best maneuver to go first to get us forward? Well,
So
I
this
would
ain't
say you go
chasing,
first.
so you all will have to do this. This is not like one roll. You are each individual people on the top of this train.
We all have to act to get to A?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anton and Tyrannic do have a water spell.
No, I have the opposite.
I know you have. Yeah, it's so unhelpful right now.
Now I can use that to maybe slow down the boots and their backwards feet, which make them so hard to track because you don't know if they're coming or going.
See, this is the thing. You're the expert here. You need to tell us what's good and what's not good right now.
Water or light.
Is that in character? All right, cool.
I have wine and an LED eyeball. I don't know what
Supercharge that sucker.
That was the chat's suggestion. All right, so who's going first? Who's making the first roll?
I guess I can repel them. That probably would be helpful right about now.
Okay.
So I'll do a repel miracle on them.
So you got rope, and you're going to go down the side of the train.
Mhm.
Belay!
Now, Michael, before you calculate everything, you still have to make a maneuver roll if you want to advance.
Okay.
And you
So I do
still
that first?
only have a no. So the way it works is, if you want to make the maneuver roll and do something else, it's a -2 to the total. So this will be your one roll for both actions.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, then for repel, I got a 17, which is a good success, and so they're pushed back 5 meters, and I think they're stymied.
And then what would that be for your?
The maneuver. Oof. Okay, that would get me to a 13, but you said it was a 15.
Yes, the DC is a 15. And
Okay,
what is
I'm gonna spin up.
The force has a strength equal to your faith and affects those enemies of equal or lesser strength. So what's your strength total? What's your faith +2? Because you got a good success.
My faith +2 is 15.
Okay. So they are pushed back to the edge of the cart and they are stunned.
Now, JM, we're on a turn, right? So does that knock them off the train?
It does not. It was not an outstanding
Ah.
success.
It was worth a try. Okay.
All right. So do you have anything you would like to play? To
I
get
will.
You to the next train?
So I'll use So I'm at a 13 for my maneuver, so I'll use a possibility to get higher.
If he uses the possibility, does it apply again to both rolls?
It will apply to both rolls, but again, on an outstanding success, reading the spell right now, it will make them very stymied.
It won't push them off the
It
train.
won't push them off the train. They have enough
Mhm.
space that they're not going to go flying backwards.
He needs players called to hit that
He
high.
needs players call for that. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
What'd you get?
Well, yeah, that gets me. That gets me to a 19. So for maneuver.
All right, so
Yeah.
you see Tyrannic invoke this blessing, this miracle of repel. The boots go flying back. The one on the end definitely falls off the edge. You lose track of them. So there are 6 that you can see right now. And then Tyrannic makes the leap, just barely manages to get onto the baggage car.
With Peaches, right?
Oh yeah, Peach. Well, here's the thing: Peaches can fly. So
Yeah, so-
yeah. Peaches is taking the straight line around this curve. All right, who's going next?
I guess with my hand still on Wilhelm to encourage him forward, I will attempt it.
All right, so you're just focusing on.
Well, okay, so it's -2 if I multi-action.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I'll try and shoot one with a laser beam and then jump.
All right, go for it.
It is made out of light.
Oh, that's a 10.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's only a
I mean, granted, I
three,
rolled
yeah.
a 48, so 2 10s, a 20, and an 8. So I guess it's fair.
She's got a freaking laser beam attached to her arm.
All I wanted was a frickin' Storm Knight with a frickin' laser beam.
Yeah, that's what you got. My second roll was a 3, so that's only a 13. So that doesn't get me high enough, so I will spend my hero card, because I'm also maneuvering, so I'll get a card anyway. So I'll spend my hero to roll again.
Oh yeah, Tyrannic, your card is Rally.
Okay. 20 and 10 is 30, so that gets me to +9. So -2 is 7, so that gets me to 17 for both.
17 for both. All right, so Genevieve, do you shoot first or jump first?
I'm gonna be cool, and I'm gonna jump with Wilhelm and then turn behind me and shoot.
That's awesome. Like, if that was in the Nile Empire, totally possibility worthy. This is Orrorsh, so the train just hates you more. You hit the guy with a good success, so go ahead and give me the bonus die of damage. And what's your base damage on your weapon?
14.
Okay.
1, so 15.
All right. So you hit one of them. You definitely see it blows a hole through through its shoulder. And when she hisses at you, you can see kind of her jaw distends a little bit. And you get the feeling that when they bite, they get a mouthful. Tyrannic Lady Salvo.
Oh, card, please.
Oh, yes. Drama.
Okay. And technically, sorry, I should be honest.
The drama.
I'm wounded, so that was a 15 for both of them.
Okay. That would only have been base damage then. But
So,
you still make
14.
the leap. Okay. Still seems to be about as effective as it was right beforehand, because you only rolled the 1. All right, who's going next? You can see Tyrannic and Genevieve have made it to the baggage car and are rushing toward the dining car.
So it's a maneuver to get to the other car, but if I use telekinesis and fly, does that, like Peaches?
I will allow you to use telekinesis in place of maneuver.
Okay.
And then if you want to
Just
try
gonna-
and just book it for the dining car, you're welcome to.
No, I'm going to multitask. I'm going to telekinesis up and over, and I'm going to, in front of the boots, try to set this old Victorian wooden train carriage on fire with pyrokinesis.
All right.
-2, right? For
-2. I have been stingier with the possibilities. Chat, while Anton makes this roll, and there's a reason for that. They are in Orrorsh, so the typical things that I would give possibilities out for are not the possibilities that Orrorsh sort of encourages. So when Edith plays to the horror of Orrorsh, or Lady Salvo kind of reacts in terror, those are the ones that get possibilities in this cosm. I see you, chat. Don't worry.
so -2. They're both kinesis roll is a 22
To each.
to each. So telekinesis is that's an outstanding. So greater range and greater strength. Pyrokinesis, it's against their dodge or dex.
Well, their
That's-
dodge is 12.
Okay, so if it's outstanding success, that's +2.
Mm-hmm.
12 to 22. Okay. So the well, you want me to do? I'm trying to set the
Is it-
train on fire.
So you can just set the
Yeah.
train on fire, and that will make it more difficult for them to get through.
Yeah, that's what I want to do is set the flames in front of them to slow them down or
All right.
make them. Otherwise,
see-
they're going to affect one. So I just.
You see Anton rise up into the air, kind of float backwards onto the baggage cart, and sets the top of the train on fire between you and these undead. Edith and Lady Salvo.
You want to run and jump together
Sure.
dramatically?
Yes.
I feel like I should make the train explode behind you, so that
If we were in the Nile Empire, yes.
I appreciate that, Lily. I appreciate that.
Edith, Lady Salvo will say, Edith, it's time to make sure the conductor's plans go down the train.
That was terrible.
I have a special possibility waiting for you, Lady Salvo.
So yeah, we're gonna do this some cool. Like I imagine the camera seeing us like in silhouette as we're leaping across
Yeah.
cars and rolling, and you know,
I feel like
there's
it's
a tree
that-
branch
that-
in the way, and I shoot the tree branch, it spatters off into just like
Yeah,
splinters.
that almost silhouette style from maybe one of those animated series that we loved growing up, where you see the guys
Yeah.
running low on the top of the train. And all right, go ahead and give me the rolls.
I am the knight.
You
I
are
am
the knight.
vengeance. All right, you want maneuver, right?
I
That's
do
what we're
want
doing?
maneuver.
All right.
I don't have to drop cards.
I have a 19 jam.
Awesome. Flurry to Lady Salvo. Edith, what'd you get?
I had to play a hero card, but fortunately I rolled a 10 on that. So,
Nice.
uh, so it's a 20 on the maneuver.
A 20 on the maneuver. All right. Well, that is a good success. So, like, you all make it onto the dining car. Thanks to Anton's flames, 4 of them do not make it across. The other 2 definitely do and leap onto the same train that you are. They're not taking multi-actions. They just seem to be kind of moving toward you. And now that 2 of them are on this train, we're going to go to the next card. I shall triumph. Villains go first and get an up. Approved action is defend, but you can make it to the dining car. B is on this card. So the 2 that are, well, let me roll for the guys who are not there. They got an up, so this has got a really good chance of them succeeding.
Did Ross and I get cards for maneuver?
You got supporter, and Ross got flurry,
Flurry.
which is the card I like to give Lady Salvo.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, you guys can see that the other creatures have made it past the fire, but they haven't been. As they go to leap, the train kind of picks up speed and they stagger back. The 2 that are on the same car as you, they go to attack Edith and Lady Salvo, as they were the last ones across. So, Edith, I got a
Your defenses are a +2.
17. Yep. So on Edith, a 17. A 17 hits you, but I really would like to do more than just hit you. Sorry, Edith.
I'd rather you didn't.
I know, but I've got all these possibilities, and they're sort of burning a hole in my pocket.
You and your beta clearance possible.
Listen, if you didn't want this to happen, you shouldn't have taken all of that XP I gave you. All right, that is an outstanding success on Edith. So Edith, your toughness is 12, which means they're up by 1. They're up by 8, so that'll be a wound and 2 shock. Lady Salvo, I'm just going to preemptively spend this possibility to attempt to hit you. Alright, so that comes into 10. 35 is a plus 10. So that's a total of 22 to Lady Salvo. You're at 15, which is 18, which is 20 with his...
No. I'm at 19 right now, unarmed defense.
19 unarmed defense. Okay, so 19 unarmed defense means that I will hit you with just a regular success.
Correct.
Which will be 2 shock. Please enjoy that shock.
Oh no!
I know. And Tyrannic, you see, as you are looking back and looking ahead and seeing Peaches fly, you feel something grab your foot from off the side of the train.
Nope, don't like that.
So 23 gets me to plus 8.
Just show me your ticket.
12, so you're at 14, so I'm up 6, so that's a good success. Tyrannic, actually, what is your maneuver, as that is what this will be against?
11.
So I'm up 8, so it's not quite player's choice. Tyrannic, you are very stymied as this boot kind of pulls you off the side of the train, and you manage to grab a hold of the side of the train, and you are flapping on the side of the train, much like this other undead creature is. And as it looks at you, its jaw distends and hits about its sternum, and it looks like it's about to bite you. And you are very stymied this round. All right, everyone, you can make your maneuver checks or do whatever you like as you are attempting to get to the dining car.
I would like to go first on this one if you don't. It's okay.
Sure.
I would like to do the following. So, JM, I want to spend a possibility, but I'm going to describe something and then let you decide if it's real or not, because this is Orrorsh and it could just be a mirage.
All right, give it to me.
But spending a possibility for this. Lady Salvo turns to try and make more headway and is running forward and suddenly screams in terror. A cloud of bats has descended, which are, of course, my phobia.
Oh yeah.
And I have to sort of hold up my hands, and then we go through the cloud of bats with no real thing. But once the bats pass, I do spy something interesting, which is one of those water towers they put next to the tracks for trains.
All right. I will not only allow it, but I will give you an Orroshian possibility for that.
Oh, fun. And I want to shoot holes into the. Actually, I'll shoot out one of the supports of the station. I guess what they're called. And I want to basically dump a whole bunch of water down on the two bad guys that are following us.
I like it. All right, so because of the bats, I'm going to make you stymied for this round.
Fair.
But if you want to jump to the train, you will just be at the -4 to shoot and then jump.
Right. What skill am I using to? I guess this is a maneuver trick.
Now I'd let you use firearms for this.
Oh, sweet! Fire combat it is. Okay, doke. Here we go.
Oh,
all right.
Man, Greg is eviler than I am. Greg thinks that your favorite feather should fly off.
18 is the total.
18 to the total? All right, Lady Salvo, you kind of leap in the air, terrified of bats. Why bats, Lady Salvo? Because they scare me, Wilhelm. It's time that my enemies feel the same fear. As you jump through the air and put holes in the side of the water tower. Now, what I'm going to do, I would like Lady Salvo to roll a... give me 3d6 and tell me each one individually.
2, 1, 4.
All right. You guys see as the train passes, the water catches these things, and Tyrannic, you are up close. It's got its jaw distended as the water hits it, and you can just see the blisters and the peeling, like just a horrible. The water inflicts 3rd-degree burns on this thing. But it is next to you as you are hanging from the side of this train. Lady Salvo, you have made it to the dining car, and as you look down through the skylight, you can see the skinwalkers. You can see the vampire all looking up at you. And as you watch the 2 people that Genevieve tried to save, they slowly look up at you as well.
I don't remember them.
Who's going next?
I can go. Do you want me to do another telekinesis to keep floating up the train?
Yeah, use that as your...
Okay.
Or you could drop it and go to maneuver. That's your choice.
No, I'll do that. So the 2 that were following us are blistered, but they're still right there. The one that jumped onto our train.
They look pretty badly wounded.
Okay. I'll do the multi. I'm gonna hit pyrokinesis again at them to try to separate them from us, and use my telekinesis to fly to the next train.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna play a card.
All right, go for it. I do like how in Orrorsh it really feels like V and Edith are kind of stepping into the leadership roles, which has been interesting to watch, and has been great fun on this side of the screen. So.
Okay, so that's both a 19, so I can fly.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm just trying to set the train, not hit them. So
right,
just
to kind of make it more
flame.
difficult for them to get across.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm on the other train. I will then play Flurry, use another telekinesis to grab Tyrannic and pull him off the side of the train.
Oh, now when does Flurry kick off?
Oh, after every hero's acted.
Okay, so you got to wait till the
Okay,
end of the round, but then I will allow that to
Okay.
work.
And I'm prepared to do that, so like if he...
Gotcha. That's sweet of you.
Maybe another feather for Anton. All right, who's going next? V, you going?
Sure, I'll jump to the next train. So, what train am I on now? Because I thought we were on the dining car, but are we on the luggage?
You were on the luggage car. You had the chance to jump to the dining car.
Got it. And then what are the approved actions this round?
Defend.
Defend.
I'm going to attempt to jump to the next car and drag Wilhelm with me. 16 is 3. So I will play drama to get that higher. Next, it's 22. So that's 8 to 6, so that gets me to 16.
You jump across the dining car with Wilhelm. You can hear the screams of pain as you leap across to the next car. I have Edith and Tyrannic left.
Okay, so for if Anton is going to help me, so I assume I need to get up, right? And then I need to get to the next car.
Yep. Anton's
Okay,
gonna help you,
well-
but you are very stymied right now. So -4 to what you're gonna do.
Oof. Okay. All right. Well,
Card if
what's that?
I have a supporter card if you'd like it.
Oh, what does that do?
adds 3 to any character's total, any other character's total, not to mine.
Okay. All right. So this might sound a little crazy. Let me see if this is gonna fly with you. So I want to get up,
I like crazy.
but then I have a canteen, and I also can breathe fire. So if I take a big swig and then I breathe fire, can I shoot steam at these bad guys?
I mean, you could. I don't know that it will necessarily do any. It's the submerging in water or kind of the dousing in water that does
okay.
that.
JM's saying you're on the wrong track.
Ah, bummer. Okay.
The chat has been saying I should be getting possibility for these. But I'm going to need a maneuver for you to just get up off the side of the train.
Yeah, makes sense. So I'll get up off the side of the train. So that's not enough. Yeah, so Lily, if you're okay if I use your supporter, I get to a 16.
All right, that will get even with the -4.
Well, with the +3 -4.
Okay, that'll get you up off the side of the train. As you attempt,
Okay.
Anton can go ahead and give me your flying roll, and Edith can give me her maneuver roll.
Clearly, I need better maneuver, but that's okay. 20 again.
All right. Anton, give me your flurry, and we'll go to the next card.
Yeah, even with the penalties, I come up with an 18, which is an outstanding success, so I can reach 50 meters, and my strength is higher, so I should be able to pull him.
Yep. Tyrannic, it feels as if two hands kind of grab you under your arms, and you get flown to the next.
Luckily,
station.
Perpetua, or not, Lily Edith gave you a supporter, so you're supported as I pull you violently away.
I feel like we are at a whole new level of friendship after that. Like that's a pretty nice move.
You give me a feather?
That's right. The saxophones of Careless Whisper. All right, here is the next action. I am not through yet. Heroes go first, but are stymied. Any action is the approved action. But there is a complication. With a complication, if you still progress, you will still make it off the dining car to the next passenger car. You can see the engine. You can start to see the smoke just belching out of the engine. It's starting to get a little thicker in the air. Hence why you guys are all stymied. But as you watch, Wilhelm now kind of seeing what's going on. The train crosses the bridge. He goes to jump, and the train seems to lurch back and then kick back up, almost supernaturally, because there's no way regular physics would allow a train to do that. And Wilhelm misses his push off, and you see he goes to tumble out over the edge into the space over the bridge. What are you guys gonna do?
I will leap into action.
All right, you are stymied, my friend.
That's great. I'm going to make a maneuver roll,
Okay.
holster my guns, and get out my bullwhip. I'm going to lash
Nice.
to the train, leap out over the edge with a running jump, and do the take my hand to Wilhelm to try and grab him and swing us both, pendulum back up onto the
All
train.
right. Now, because
Keep the soundtrack.
Because
Dun,
Lady
dun, dun.
and Ross both have Orroshian possibilities, let me tell you what happens when you spend those. They work like a normal possibility. It's fine. But
Sure it is.
sure it is, right? Everything is fine in Orrorsh, but you have an option. When you spend an Orrorsh possibility, you can choose to try and keep it. But you have to make a corruption test. pass the corruption test, and you get the possibility back. Fail the corruption test, the possibility is gone, and you've failed a corruption test, which has its own delightful mechanics. So, all right, Lady Salvo.
This is literally the most dramatic thing I could think of. I will make a maneuver check to do this, and does this count as also us advancing?
It will count as you advancing. I'm going to give you another -2 to kind of get both of you onto the next train.
So -4 to my maneuver check.
-4 total.
All right. Cool. Well, that is going to give me a 14, but I'm going to play action and make that a 17.
A 17. Genevieve, as you watch, Wilhelm kind of... Lady Salvo jumps off, lashes to the ladder of the next train, snatches him out of the air, and the two of them land. Wilhelm lets out, I'm sure there's a scream that would be appropriate to this. I don't know what I would call it, though. But he is safe and sound. So what are the rest of you guys doing? I just want to end my action with saying we're running out of time to engineer change. Now I'm done. Ross,
Have you been working on these for Ross?
JM greatly appreciates all of these great puns. Orrorsh and the Gauntman, however, are unmoved. All right, well, there are no more boots that you can see following you. The fire that Anton has set seems to have kept them at bay. But Anton, Tyrannic, and V and Edith, as you kind of watch, you can see the vampire has stood up and is wiping the corners of his mouth and starts to climb up the side of the inside of the train.
I'm just gonna keep running.
Okay.
Yeah, get out of there.
Chat, you were
Just running.
delightful, and I'm just going to toss this out there, I adore you. Go ahead, who's going next?
I use my telekinesis again.
By the way, any action is approved. So, Lady Salvo, you get willpower.
It was only a good success, but that's enough to get myself across.
Okay.
Card.
All right, Anton goes floating by, gets a reality surge for his action. Edith, Tyrannic, and Genevieve, you can see the...
16.
All right,
That's the
Edith,
card I get?
as you leap across, you hear the sound of a fist hitting glass, and it's sort of spider webbing and cracking.
And my card.
Yep.
Oh, I see what's important to you, Lily. Romance. Oh!
And
Tyrannic and Genevieve.
Okay,
Yep, I
so what? So what? We're -2 right now.
You are -2 to get across, yes.
Okay, so I'm -4. So even exploding in a possibility, I'm at 14.
Anybody got a card that can get her to 15 so that she can make it across to the passenger?
I can transfer you a possibility.
But she can't
That's all
use
I
it.
could do.
She's already spent one.
Oh, bummer.
I can give you a hero card, which you can use on top of a possibility,
There
right?
you go. Yeah.
Yep. And then I roll a 19. Yeah, I like a lot.
All right.
So-
Action.
She was holding out for a hero.
That's right. Now that song's gonna be stuck in my head.
if this were Fading Sun,
Genevieve,
we
don't be a
thank those
hero.
success.
V, you get a action card. Tyrannic, you were trying to tell me what you were going to do. You can see the fist punch through the glass as the vampire starts to pull itself out.
Yep, not about that life. So 17 to get out of there.
Tyrannic, you go leaping and you get a flurry card as well. You see the
Stay
vampire
with me.
pulls himself
Don't fail
free.
me now.
You can see the engine is right in front of you. The smoke is thick, and you hear the rippling of cloth as the vampire very clearly and neatly follows Tyrannic grabs him and attempts to throw him off the train. What's your maneuver, Michael?
It's an 11.
40 is a plus 11. Typed it. Tried to type in.
Peaches saves him.
And I typed in campfire.
Yeah,
That was-
Peaches.
There we go. All right, so I got a 23 on maneuver, which is an outstanding success.
Okay.
Michael, the vampire grabs you, doesn't even seem to care, and just tosses you in, like, over the edge of the train, and looks right at Anton. You left before I got my taste. It starts talking towards you. You are flying through the air, meters away from the train. However, when the going gets tough, heroes go first. You do have to check for surge. D is the final step, and it is on this card. And Intimidate is our action. Heroes, give me your surge check, and then tell me what you're going to do.
I rolled an 18.
Do you get like extra points if you crit on your surge check? Because I feel like you should.
I mean,
Keep rolling for glory.
keep rolling. No, I mean, it doesn't. You stubbornly resist the surge with grace and vigor and gumption. All right, everybody make their surge roll. Tyrannic is flying through the air. What are you guys doing?
Anton, you wanna do something about that?
Yeah, I have another flurry card. But because I can only play one card at a time, so I think I'm gonna have to split things. But first I'm gonna play. Well, would this help? Reality Surge?
How would you want that to help, Anton?
Well, my world laws are in effect as if I'm in a mix zone for the remainder of the scene. So would that make my things not so
Yeah, I mean, if
ineffective?
you want to
in
play
Orrorsh?
that, you would no longer be under. You would no longer be under the Orrorsh. Just you would no longer be under
Yeah,
the
it's just me.
Orrorsh world laws. You would be under the Tharkold world laws.
No, it's a mixed zone.
Oh, it's
yeah.
a mix zone, right?
It's a mix zone, yeah.
So it would make your axioms less likely to trigger. Thanks, Ross.
Is that it?
I'm looking it up right now.
It's more useful for some cosms than for others.
178. All right.
I just don't know if it'll give me any kind of bonus.
In a mix
Trying to-
zones,
Do something to the vampire.
tools and objects permitted by the axioms of both realities can be used without contradictions, and both sets of world laws are in effect.
Hey, Anton, so Intimidate is favored. And if I'm not mistaken, there's an Intimidate-based world law
There
in
is an
Tharkol.
Intimidate-based world law for Tharkol, so that could be very helpful for you right now. The law of dominance.
Could be. And that's a favored.
Well, the way it would work for you, and it would last for the rest of the scene, Anton. Let me flip over to my Tharkold Cosm. Alright, so Anton, the two things that would be in play, when Intimidation is an approved action, which it is now, a success allows you to draw 2 destiny cards and choose which to keep. You must discard the other. Also, the first, outside of combat, the first successful Intimidation attack against a reality-rated foe, which you know the vampire is, grants a draw from the Destiny deck. The other thing to keep in mind is that you will also be acting under the law of pain, which means you recover shocks when you deal wounds to people.
So I can do this. Okay, so that's one action would be the intimidate.
Right? So one of the
Then-
Darkhold and Orrorsh mix zone is just not pleasant for anyone. It's all pain and terror and all sorts of horror. All right, what'd you get, Anton?
Well, I'm saying I'm trying to, if I intimidate and use my telekinesis to move, that's minus
-2.
for me. Yeah, I have another 2. Remember, I'm keeping a
Oh, yeah,
concentrate up the whole time, so I'm
Right, so
adding
you would be
2
at
to
mi-
every
you would be
penalty.
at -4.
Yeah, and then if I want to
If you want to also save
split
Tyrannic,
telekinesis,
you would be at
that's
-6.
-6. No one else has a flurry to bullwhip. Is he? Well, yeah. So you bullwhipped and brought him back, but he's not attached to your
I
bow.
have a flurry. I can certainly play it. I thought this would be your time to do the rescue.
Well, I'm gonna have to-
I can.
Can I do one card?
What do you want? What do you want me to do, buddy? I'm here for you.
I'm confident in my kinesis.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to split it and intimidate and tell him to crawl back into the coffin that he came out of for my intimidate.
All right.
And then
I can give you a willpower if you want.
let's see how it goes. Not bad, not bad. But we'll spend a possibility to get these up. So close to a 20. So that is 28. So that's 9. Well, let's see. So the intimidate would be a 18.
With
And
all
my
the penalties.
kinesis-
Okay.
Yeah, with the penalties, subtract the penalties down, would be a 17. And my kinesis is a 19, which is a outstanding success. So it's 50 meters, so even though he's throwing away, I can reach him and pull him back. Yeah, so instead of not having a massive something, it's okay. I don't know if I intimidate him, but
Well, so here's the thing, Anton. 2 things. 1, you got a good success on your intimidation. Do you want to make him easier to hit, or do you want to make him harder for him to take actions? -4 to whichever one you do.
let's do his actions just in case people can't get across and he's trying to do something.
All right, and then you have the choice. Do you want hero or master plan?
What's master plan?
Glad you asked. Master plan, pick up any destiny card just played or discarded in exchange from this one. The recovered card may either replace master plan in your action pool or go straight into your hand and you may play it immediately. So do you want the extra possibility or do you want the flexibility to pick up anyone else's discarded or played card?
Master plan.
All right. Tyrannic, you get violently ripped out of the air and slammed onto the back of the engine car as Anton gracefully floats down. You can hear... False alarm.
Oh, this is the second time now. Don't I gently nestle him in my hand and pull him closer?
I can just see it now, the tagline. Caught between Darkhold and Orrorsh. 2 Storm Knights find love. I forgot what I was going to say. The 2 of you can definitely hear the grating sound of coal on a shovel and the sounds of muffled screams coming from the inside as you see this massive, bulky shape in the shadows, like lit only by the kind of the infernal glow of the train's furnace as he's shoveling coal and tossing it in. And you can see every time he pulls it back, that shovel, like the tip of the blade, glistens in the light as if it's been honed to a razor edge. Shovel.
Greg has a good point. I wouldn't have gently, since I'm in the throes of Tharkold.
Yeah.
It would have been a violent smash, grab. Come here. Now!
I think
Edith,
you mean get over here.
all right, Edith, Genevieve, and Lady Salvo, you are the three left as the vampire staggers back from Anton's forceful intimidation.
I will attempt to leap. Oh, that's cocked.
Hey, this is a PG-13 show.
Gentle is not a Tharkoldu adjective. Greg, I'm so glad that you're in our chat.
So. Math. 18 and 9 is 27.
It is.
I can. So 9 minus 2 is 7, so 17.
Okay. You and Wilhelm kind of leap down onto the large platform that extends from the back of the engine. And Wilhelm's like, I can't go in there again.
Yep. You don't have to. You got this far. Just be our eyes and ears.
Okay. Lady Salvo and Edith.
Yeah, you stay here and hold off the vampire for us.
So I'm gonna multi-action and shoot the vampire and maneuver.
Ooh, all right, Edith, give me the roll.
Jam, what was the proved action?
Intimidate.
Oh, right.
I would intimidate, but I have better intimidation against werewolves.
I appreciate that.
Only because you wear several of them as a shoal.
Yes, that's correct. This is at a -2
This is.
for the multi-action. Okay.
What are your totals?
that's- Well, the total for shoot is a 21. And the total for maneuver is a 19.
All right, Edith, kind of pushing back, you fire the crossbow with a bonus die, so go ahead and give me the total damage.
Well, it's a holy water bolt.
Oh, that's not great.
And I rolled an infinity, so it's a 13 plus 2 is 15 plus 8 is 23.
Alright, he's going to spend a possibility to try and...
Is he though?
Not with a mishap. Alright, well, it takes
Oh,
2
no.
wounds from your bolt.
Yeah,
You're
he
still,
does.
you're still mulling over my scathing intimidation. Didn't see the bolt
Yeah,
coming.
He definitely is, as you
He's
kind
vulnerable.
of hit the ground, hearing that noise. Lady Salvo, you are the only one there. You can see the vampire, just more copious amounts of blood flowing down from Edith's bolt that is kind of stuck. Yes, Genevieve.
Is there any glitter?
There's no.
I told you, vampires don't sparkle.
That's right, but Edith does.
So,
Lady Salvo, what do you got? You're bringing up.
is the vampire very badly hurt or just sort of minor?
Very badly hurt.
Okay, cool. So
The chat is recommending that Edith does not make a coat out of vampire skins. It'll look really great for like one night.
So mechanically, what I want to do is I want to shoot him.
Okay.
But I want it to look really, really cool. So I'm going to throw a possibility at you to see if this is okay. I'm going to face off with the vampire, and I will say, "This is the last stop for you and your kind." And I'll dramatically lift a hand up and say, "Peaches now!" And the pterodactyl will kind of get in his face, and he can't see anything. And while he's blind, I'm shooting at a coaling tower to knock the chute right in front of him and smack him in the chest.
All right.
So mechanically, I'm shooting him, but it's all of those things.
If you want to make this a multi-action beyond just...
I have to if I want to maneuver.
That's true. Okay, go for it. I like it. I love it. Peaches flies in his face. There's a coal chute.
Okay, you know what? I have a flurry card. I will play it so that I can do two things. So I guess in this case, I will save. This will be my shooting, and the maneuver will happen at the end of the turn.
Okay. If I may, if you want to do a shoot maneuver and then a maneuver to get on the train, you could always shoot him and then have the coal chute try and knock him off the edge of the train if the bullets don't kill him. It's up to you.
No, that's fine. Fine. So regardless, it's a shooting. So.
All right, go for it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's burning a second chance.
Okay. Oh no, that was a 1-2.
Oh, much better. Okay. So 28.
A 28 to shoot him is an outstanding success.
Awesome. Infinity on the first die. 4 and 4. So 8, 5, 13, and 14, 27 AP2.
27 AP2.
So Peaches gets out of the way just as I've lined up these shots, but and swoops out of the way.
All right, so even with his possibility, he rolled a 3, which means his reality is currently a 2, so he will spend another to try and get a possibility up. Rolled another 3. Good job, dice. So that brings it to a total of 13, which is +1, which would be 13 except for Anton's Intimidate, so it drops him to a 9. He is unable to soak the wound. And the vampire gets hit by the coal chute, blood erupts from his chest, and Lady Salvo, how do you arrive on the platform?
I will simply
Flare?
do a triple backflip and land next to the others with my hat sort of adjusted,
All right. As you stand there on the threshold of the engine with whatever nightmare awaits on the other side, looking back, Lady Salvo, as you land, you kind of bring your head up and you can see back into the passenger car. At the far end of the passenger car, everything is dark. You can see a myriad of shapes moving around in the darkness, but the far end of the car coming off the dining car opens, and you can see the conductor, eyes wide in the light, looking at his watch as he starts stalking towards you, as you hear the shovel of the engineer tossing coal into the furnace. And when we pick up next week, we will have a confrontation between the Horseman and this train of horrors. First of all, let me as always say thank you to my Horsemen. You guys are fantastic. Chat, you are amazing. First of all, thank you for all of your advice, both to the players and to the GM. I feel like you root for us equally. We will be back next week with more Torg on Tuesdays to see what happens. If you like what we do, please like and subscribe here on Twitch. Follow the Ulysses International stream on YouTube. You can go catch up on back episodes there. They got a ton of other great shows. I'm a fan of Campfire Chats because it's just Ross and I talking about the Myth role-playing game, which will be coming out later this year, coming to crowdfunding. They have also got shows on Torg and Aventuria and the Myth board game, and of course, another favorite of ours, Fading Suns, and we will be back on Thursday with more Fading Suns and the crew of the Oh Boy as they descend into an ore ruin to try and save Jex's father. So we will see you on Thursday. If not, we'll see you back here next Tuesday. As always, thank you for watching and tuning in. Thank you to my Horseman. Thank you to my producers and my moderators in the background. Thank you to Ulysses for sponsoring the show and allowing us to stream on your channel. Again, if you like what they do, subscribe both here on Twitch and on YouTube. If you like what we do, check out the Iconic Production channel. We're the little dragon in the corner. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. We will see you in a week for more Torg and more Orrorsh. Until then, have a good one.